Hey guys, what's going on? In today's video, I'm going to be trying something a little bit different. I'm going to be teaching you guys how to find a drop spot for trios, trio arena, trio scrims, and eventually trio FNCS. I know it's a bit different than what my usual content is, but if you like this video or it helps you in any way, then please like this video so that I can continue to make more videos like this. Alright, so when you're finding a drop spot, there's a few things you want to consider. The first things you want to consider is about yourself. Like, what type of player are you guys? So the first thing you want to consider about yourself is how good your drop off the battle bus is. So you may not think, well, that's not that big of a deal. Well, let's take Tilted for example. If you can alpha up main building, this big main building right here, you're gonna win Tilted. You have this entire main building to yourself. You can get angles from this. You get the most loot. You have the most rotations. If you're a decent fighter, you can win this every single time. So that's just an example of why drops are important. And Stark last season, it was all about how good your drop was. That was basically all there was to it. And then how to tell if your drop is good is if you think about stuff when you're fighting off spawn and there's a gun up top and you go for that gun on top of the roof. Are you the one usually getting that gun first and beaming comes out of the air? Or are you the one getting killed out of the air by that kid with the gun? If you're the kid landing on that gun and killing them, then you should know that your drops are just pretty good. So another thing you want to consider is how good you are at off spawn fighting. I would say fighting in general, but off spawn fighting is another thing. So in off spawn fighting, if you play a lot of arena, this helps you know. When do you die the most? If you die the most early game, fighting off spawn, then you need to recognize that you're not good at off spawn fighting. You can get better, but you need to recognize that that's not your strong suit. So maybe don't land the best POIs if that's not your strong suit. When you think about it, do you die most early game, mid game, or end game? When you need to think about that question and answer it honestly and truly to yourself, and maybe ask some friends so that you're not biased. And then you need to know what that is and about yourself. And if you die mostly early game, then you can still work on that. And the best way I recommend working on that is in solo arena, just landing salty towers. It doesn't matter about your arena points. If you want to get better at off spawn fighting and becoming a better player in general, solo arena, landing salty towers. That's what I recommend if you die a lot early game. You're gonna lose a lot of points at the beginning. I lost 1k points, and now I'm so much better at fighting. It's insane. You wouldn't believe that. I might make a video on that, but I'm so much better at fighting just from a week of landing there. I definitely recommend that. But anyway, the final thing you want to consider about yourself is your team chemistry. This also works in to off spawn fighting, in how good you are at off spawn fighting. So as your trio, you need to consider both those aspects, but as all of your trio. If one of your members has a really good drop, and the other two just aren't, they don't have a good drop, then you need to all three have that. And if one player is really good at off spawn fighting and the others aren't, you need to recognize that. If it helps if most of your players have really good drops, and then you can alpha up places and then get better loot. But that's all for what you need to consider about yourself, and now we're going to move on to what to consider about the drop spot. Alright guys, after you've asked yourself those questions and honestly answered them to yourselves, you want to start considering where you should land. I know that's the entire point of the video, but you want to consider where you will land. So the main thing you should consider when finding a drop spot, you should ask yourself this question. Not only this question, but this is the main question. What is the meta right now? And the meta right now is upgrading and fishing. And so upgrading and fishing, I have upgradable NPCs and fishing holes marked on the map, and safes for gold and chests. So the two best POIs right now, because they have fishing and guaranteed upgrade places, are Dirty Docks and Misty Meadows. These are really good because they have these guaranteed fishing spots and then these guaranteed upgrade NPCs. So not all NPCs are guaranteed upgrade. Not all NPCs are upgradable, and not all upgradable NPCs 100% spawn at your location. So that's just something to consider. I don't fully know how the NPC system works, but I have a basic idea. So if your NPC, so say fish stick, it spawns in 2 locations. So there's a 50% chance it'll spawn in coral and a 50% chance it'll spawn in craggy cliffs. Or if your NPC just has 1 location, like Kit, it only spawns here, then it has a 100% spawn rate of spawning there. And Kit is a 100% upgrade NPC, and it's 100% spawn, so this would not be a terrible place to land. But anyway, so then you want to think of fishing and upgradable NPCs. So once we've nailed that that's the meta, you want to try and abuse these strats. So upgrade NPCs, as you can tell, there's only like 10 of them in the entire map. So they're pretty hard to get. So if you cannot get an upgrade NPC, ideally you want an upgrade NPC. So how you can find good spots to have an upgrade NPC is look at where these are. So Catty Corner, Misty Meadows, and Dirty Docks. Like, if you consistently call out of opens, like landing broken POIs, then do that. But like, if you alpha these POIs up in like open scrims, like K and G scrims, or like East Open scrims, and you alpha them up in arena, like that doesn't mean like nothing, but it like doesn't mean a lot in FNCS. Like, you'll be able to alpha these spot up like first 5 games, but then after 5 games, when you're in high elo lobbies, you're just gonna get absolutely destroyed by like tier 1 pros, semi-pros, not well-known pros, just people that grind the game 24/7, because that's who's gonna be landing these 2 POIs. Kids that are absolutely cracked out of their minds, aren't the smartest, and will just key you constantly. Like, you won't even be able to split these POIs after your first 5 games. Like, in FNCS, of course. But if you can, like, test if you're good enough, like, if you're in, like, not open scrims. Open scrims, you can't test how good you'll be in a game with pros if you're not playing. Like, when alpha scrims was a thing, that's a great way to test it, but it's not a thing anymore. So, like, in all those open discords, there's, like, a higher discord, so if you can, like, get into those higher discords, like, no zone rule scrims with good players, then, and you can alpha those up, and then, if you can alpha these spots up in those type of scrims, then I'd say land here. But if you can't, then just land somewhere else. So we're gonna figure out how to find somewhere else. So you want to look for where upgrade NPCs are. So right now you look here, this is just a random spot. There's 2 upgrade NPCs. I don't know what 100% spawn. Even if they're both 50% spawn, theoretically you're gonna have like a 100% spawn chance of both, but it would probably be like 75% chance. And this split shop here, it also has a little bit of fishing. So like, this would be a good this season meta drop. Like, this is a good drop, but like it's a split shop, so you'd have to know the drop, and you might be getting conned, because this is where, and this house right here, it got nerfed. It only has 2 chests and 3 chests. It does not have the henchman crate. So like, if you think this might be a spot, just keep in mind your loot will not be that good unless you get a lot of gold. So you spawn with 50 gold, and that's enough to get like a blue gun, I think. So like, you can come out with like blue shotguns, and if you find a blue shotgun, you have to have like 150 to upgrade. So like, I don't know how you get your gold. Maybe you rotate here, but like, you need to get gold. So this doesn't have a good, it has fishing and upgrade NPCs, doesn't have a good source of gold, and you might be getting contested, and this POI actually got nerfed. So then we're gonna look somewhere else. Slurpy Swamps, there's 2 NPCs here and a bunch of fishing. So theoretically 75% chance here. Theoretically. And then a lot of chests, and these crates, safes, I think that's what they're called. Yeah. These are really good if you have like a 75% chance. So if you have these, then you can get like 100 gold, and that's one of your teammates gets a guaranteed purple shotgun. Like, well, if you get like a green shotgun, you can upgrade from a green all the way to a purple. And the purple lever action, that thing's so good. And like, the difference between a blue charge and a purple charge, and like a blue tack and a purple tack, like, that'll just help you so much. And then this, like, you also need to look at the quests these guys have. So like, I don't know what quests these guys have. You should research that. Like, maybe go there and see what quests they have, if they're really easy, because that's a way to get gold. They give out quests, and then you can do gold. Like this one right here, I'm pretty sure there's like one, and it's like fill up a car with gas, and then there'll be like a car right here and gas here, or it'll be like farm 250 brick. So that's like free gold, and then your entire team can get guaranteed purple shotguns. Whereas this guy, he doesn't have that good of quests. It's like restore shield. That's pretty hard to do if you're 100. And so that's why that's not the greatest. But also there is an NPC here. Let's turn on NPCs. So this NPC gives you a bounty. So like if you get your bounty, then you can like upgrade here. And then same with these, one of these two. These will give you a bounty, and then like you can get your gold and then upgrade. If you get one bounty, you can get a purple shotgun. That is an important thing to note. And then like this place, it would be okay. Like it doesn't have a lot of loot, but if you know how to fight here, it's all right. Because this guy can give you a bounty, then you kill them, and then you all get purple shotguns. And then like retail row, so it doesn't have fishing, and it doesn't have an upgrade NPC. But what you can do here is see these saves. You have 2 saves and the bounties, and 2 bounties. So you can like, if you get a bounty in these 2 saves, right? You all have 300 gold. Then if you have 300 gold, if your rotate path is out into dirty, then like you have your upgrades here. But if your rotate path is like straight, or like say if zone pulls down, you can go to kit. If zone pulls up, you can go here. If zone pulls like in, you'd have to like, that'd be, I don't know. So like there's a chance you can upgrade here. In dirty, you can always upgrade Coliseum. There's no one really around to upgrade, and that's a flaw with Tilted, right? You don't have fishing, and you do have these fish, but like that's okay. That's all right. So many kids will have angles on you. You don't have fishing, and you don't have an upgrade NPC. That's the same with Sweaty. You do have these 2. I don't know if either of them are 100% spawn, and you have this guy. But just thinking about what the meta is and learning the meta, and like knowing like what quest, how you can get gold, and how you can upgrade. So after you do that, you want to think how many people can test this, and it's pretty easy. Just go into a couple of arena games, see how many people can test you. Arena games aren't exactly like FNCS. There'll probably be a little less people contesting you. And like if you're landing dirty, more people will contest you first game, and then it'll like die off, but the players will get better. So just keep that in mind. And then dirty, and then like this, just keep in mind upgrade NPCs and fishing. That is the meta. So when you're picking a drop spot, that is what you want to have in mind. Alright guys, that has been the video. If you liked this video or it helped you in any way, make sure to like this video so that I will know that you liked it and continue to put these types of videos out. I will probably be, my next video will probably be like a VOD review video, or like explaining something in trios. If you guys like that or want that, make sure to comment, see if this helps you. And that's all for now. Peace.